guys, and welcome to my channel once again. Today I have a new video for you, and it is a beauty tutorial. I feel like I haven't done a makeup tutorial in such a long time. So I thought now, with the start of like winter, finish of autumn, I think it was the perfect time to do a kind of very wintry slash autumn look. So I hope you enjoy it. It's this look with a really dark lip and pretty dark smoky eyes as well. I did feel for a long time that you couldn't kind of do strong eyes and strong lips, but I've seen it so much online lately, in Pinterest, on other tutorials in YouTube, and I feel it actually looks really good, and now is the season to pull it off. I feel like you really can't pull such a heavy look off in summer, but in this kind of dark weather where you're wearing kind of big chunky knits and everything is a little bit dark, the weather is a bit dark, the sunlight isn't so harsh, I really think you can pull it off. So if you want to know how I achieved this look, please keep watching. I use a mix of kind of high street and high-end products, and I'm trying out a new powder by Terry, which I absolutely love. So if you want to see my first impressions on that, do check out the video, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. I upload twice a week, although there has been a little gap in my channel. I'm back on track now and I will be uploading twice a week, so don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so I've already used some of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream to moisturize my face, and a little bit of under eye brightening cream, and then I'm going to apply foundation. And for foundation, I'm going to use a mix of the YSL Touche Eclat foundation with a little bit of this Dior BB cream, the usual combo. And I like this because it gives a kind of light coverage, but the BB cream really helps this stick onto my skin and last all day. I'm going to apply it first with fingers just to warm the product up, and then I'm going to use a beauty blender. And I really like applying the product first with fingers because I think that when you apply it straight on with a beauty blender, you end up wasting so much product. Next, moving on to correcting my under eye darkness, I'm going to use this Tarte CC corrector, and I'm just going to apply it in the areas where I have a little bit more pigmentation or darkness, so underneath my eyes and around my lips and a little bit around my nose. I really love this one. I've done a review about this concealer. Actually, it's more of a corrector. I'll link it below, but it's really good, and it's not too thick, so it's quite good if you kind of brush it into your skin and make it a little bit lighter. Then going in with concealer, I'm using my trusty Clé de Peau concealer, and I'm using this in the usual areas, so around my nose to just help thin it out, a little bit wherever I have blemishes, and also underneath my eyes, just because my under eye darkness is pretty dark, so I feel that I need a couple of layers just for it to be really covered. Then I'm going to go in with a cream highlighter, and I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I really like this because it's a bit of a concealer but also a highlighter, so I can use it as both. And I'm using it in the usual spots, so on the bridge of my nose, center of my chin, underneath my eyes in a triangle shape, and a little bit on my forehead. And then I'm blending all of this in with a damp beauty blender. Moving on to cream contour, I'm using my usual LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Toast, and I'm applying a little bit underneath my cheekbones, around my jawline, and a little bit down my nose just to thin it out a little bit, and a little bit on my chin. I'm trying this new kind of technique of making two lines on the sides of my chin just to make it a little bit more defined. And then I'm just blending in everything with this Real Techniques brush. And this is just to kind of give it an initial blend, and as you can see on my chin area, I'm always blending downwards. It's really important because that's where you want to create the shadow. And then once I've blended it in with the brush, I'm going to go in and finish blending it all out with my beauty blender. And it's really important to contour with this look because the dark lips can really wash you out, so I feel that having a nice chiseled face with a bit of color is really going to help to not wash you out when you have a kind of yellowish skin tone and you're using a dark lip color. I'm then going to go in with this Maybelline Eraser Eye Concealer, and I like this because it is pretty light textured, but it's still very illuminating. And I'm applying a little bit of this around my contour just to define this a little bit more, and also around the contour I've applied on my nose just to define those lines a little bit more and just make everything more sharp. I'm then going to go in and bake just a little bit underneath my eyes using this Laura Mercier translucent powder, which is called the Secret Illuminating Powder. And I'm just applying this with a sponge underneath my eyes, and then on the usual spots where I've highlighted, I'm applying it with a brush just because I don't want such heavy coverage, and I find that if I apply it with the beauty blender, it sometimes can just look way too matte. I'm then going in and powdering the rest of my face with this by Terry powder, the Pearlicious Voile de Pearle. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but it is a beautiful, beautiful powder. It is very similar to the Hourglass powder, and I've mentioned it in my favorites for this month because it is so nice. It just gives you a really nice glow to your skin, but it's still good to set because it doesn't make you overly shiny. Then for eyes, I'm just using a little bit of this Dior primer and then just setting this in with my fingers. And then I'm going to move straight onto lips. And when I do a dark lip, I like to do my lips before my eyes, just because I find that it helps me see how much darkness I need in my eyes and how much blusher I need, because the lip intensity really defines this when you have a dark lip. You don't want to end up looking way too done up. So I'm using this lip liner by Chanel, and it's in a kind of burgundy reddish color, and I'm using this to just outline my lips and also fill them in to make the lipstick last longer, but also because I've perfected the shape of my lips, so to make sure that it's nice and opaque everywhere, I just like to fill it in with lip liner first. And then I'm going in with the lipstick. I'm applying it straight from the bullet initially. It's the Maybelline Divine Wine, and I absolutely love this color. For the longest time, I thought the dark lipsticks didn't suit me, but I really like this shade of kind of burgundy, berry red. It's really nice. It's between berry and red, and it's got a bit of a brownish undertone as well, so I feel it really suits my olive skin tone. And I've gone in with a brush just to make sure that my lips are nice and defined, and I always like to do this when I use a darker shade of lip color. Then on my eyes, I'm applying this enhanced shade from the 5 Minute or Instant Look palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm just applying this to the crease area just to give it a little bit of definition. And then I'm going in with this shade from the Dolce Vita palette, and it's kind of reddish shade, and I'm using this all over my crease and kind of a little bit above, and I'm just blending it in with this really fluffy brush. And that's just to give the eyes a little bit more color and a little bit of that kind of intensity that I like when I've got some dark lips. And then I'm going in with this MAC grey shadow, and using a smaller blending brush, I'm just applying this to the actual crease area without going above. I'm then using this Urban Decay half-baked eyeshadow, and I'm applying this all over the lid with a flat brush, and I'm just patting this on just to give it the maximum intensity. And I really like this. It's a great look for this festive season because it just gives your eyes a little bit of sparkle, and it also kind of lightens them, which makes them a bit more wearable with the darker lip. I'm then going back in with a brown shadow from the Sophisticate palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and it's a kind of medium to darkish brown, and I'm just using this to kind of tone down that grey and not make it as intense. I feel the brown tones were going better with the lip than the grey tone, so I just wanted to tone it down a little bit. And then I'm using the same half-baked shadow on the underneath my brows, and I'm just kind of blending this out with a fluffy brush. And I really like the sparkle that this gives to the eyes, and it also kind of lifts my brow bone a little bit, which I really need because it is quite low down. And then going in with the brown shadow, again the darker brown, I'm just gonna define my lower lash line, and then I'm gonna use a little bit of the sparkly half-baked shade in the tear duct. I'm then going to define my waterline using a black pencil, and I'm using this one by Estee Lauder, but I've recently discovered one by Chantecaille, which I will be talking about in my next video, which is absolutely amazing. I'm then using a little bit of gel liner from Estee Lauder to draw a line on my upper lash line, and I wanted a very thin line with just the slightest flick at the end. And then I'm just perfecting this using this Maybelline liquid liner in a kind of pencil format, and I really like these to kind of get the perfect flick at the end. I'm then using the bronzing powder in the Anastasia contour palette just to warm up my complexion a little bit, and I'm using it in the kind of usual areas where you would get hit by the sun. And then I'm using the contour shade, which I think is called Fawn, just to further define the areas which I'd previously contoured with the cream contour. So just underneath my cheekbones, along my jawline, around the sides of my face, and a little bit underneath my chin. Around my chin area, I really like to kind of concentrate on the bit at the end of my face, so kind of there, as you can see, just underneath my ear, because I feel that that gives your face a lot of sharpness and definition, so it's good to contour around there. For blusher, I'm going in with this Charlotte Tilbury blusher in First Love, which is a really, really neutral color, almost kind of a brownish pink. And I'm just dusting this very lightly over my cheeks because I don't want too much pink on my face, just because the lips are already quite dark. And then I'm using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the color Champagne Pop from Jaclyn Hill, just to highlight, and then I'm going in with the same Fawn shade from the Anastasia palette to contour my nose a little bit. I'm then going to curl my eyelashes and go straight in with 2 coats of mascara on my top lashes and 2 coats on the bottom lashes, and I'm using my Maybelline Falsies Push Up Drama, which is absolutely my favorite mascara lately. I'm then just going to spritz a little bit of this Urban Decay setting spray just to make sure my makeup lasts, and I filled my eyebrows off camera and also added some falsies just to finish the look off. Okay guys, so that was everything from me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was quite a lengthy tutorial and there were lots of steps to it, but I feel like this look, you could kind of pair the darker eyes with a nude lip and make it a different look like that, or maybe kind of take the dark lip and use maybe just a wing liner with a very, very simple eyeshadow, and that could work as well. So this look is perfect for kind of day, night. I would say maybe not like day, as in like I wouldn't wear this to work, but probably if you're going out in the afternoon and you're going to kind of carry it on to the evening, I think this is the perfect look. It's a very, very kind of wintry fall look. I love the berry lips. For the longest time I thought I couldn't carry off the darker lips, but now I've started to really, really love it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys!